With this, now it is time to call upon another member who is taking to who has chosen to take the role of a speaker today, irrespective of whatever challenges could have come his way. It is Toastmaster Rishav. Toastmaster Rishav is an educator, is the first person from Nepal to represent Nepal on an international platform through JCI, and one of the most enthusiastic person who takes feedbacks heads on, who actually values the importance of feedback and implies feedback in his life. Toastmaster Rishabh is delivering his level 2 project 3 of his path presentation mastery, I believe, and he will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Priyang. I request distinguished Toastmaster Priyang to please highlight the purpose and objective of his speech.
Thank you, presiding officer. Hope I am audible, clear, and loud. Toastmaster Rishabh is doing his Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring Project, Level 2, Project 3 from Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Timer, please note the timing for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Rishabh. Thank you. Back to you.
I think I messed something up. I diverted from the agenda. I think if we are good to go, DTM Priyank, can we go ahead with the speech? Thank you so much. I apologize for the confusion created. Toastmaster Rishabh, yes, you are going ahead next. Let's welcome Toastmaster Rishabh with a huge round of applause for his speech titled Finding My Voice. Finding My Voice, Toastmaster Rishabh.
April 2010. Can you remember what you were doing on that very day? Barely. But for myself, I vividly remember the day of my public speaking competition back in school. I walk onto the stage, around 300 people looking at me and clapping. I open my mouth, look at them, and suddenly I freeze. No word could come out of my mouth. All I could hear was my own heartbeat and some faint whispers in the audience that said, I knew this voice like this. Those were the longest 2 minutes of my life. You see, it feels like yesterday how I told myself, never again. I was in fact chosen by my class teacher who thought that I talked a lot in the class and I could do the same on the stage. But right after that event, something shut inside me. The chatterbox in that classroom was silent and started sitting on the last bench. While some teachers commented that now that this guy is going to be a good student, someone noticed everything beneath that silence. Mr. Veem Bhattarai, enthusiastic person, a stage performer himself, charming, and someone who had a big heart. He came up to me one day after the school and said, you know, Rishabh, the thing that you did last week, that was incredibly brave. Confused me. How, sir? I embarrassed myself. You know what, Rishabh? Beginning is the greatest thing, and that you have done. Your journey had just begun. I could not even think what he was saying, and I wondered how he had planned to help me. But indeed, he did not limit himself. Every week, he would make me sit down, read or write about the things I was passionate about, help me speak on the things that I loved. And slowly, I could see the progress in myself. Back then, that tender kid, that tender guy did not understand. His mind could not comprehend what he was trying to tell. But later, the guy who said, never again, is standing in front of you all. Not only having pushed aside the fear of public speaking, but someone who has found his voice and aspires others to find theirs as well. When I say this, I understand how Toastmasters makes us believe in the power of mentoring, how Toastmasters helps us to build ourselves from the program like mentor mentee. It continuously proves us that when passion meets purpose, when knowledge meets with the enthusiastic individuals, we shape people's voices, we shape minds. And in Toastmasters, mentorship is not just about flashing oneself on the social media handles like, I'm the mentor, but we believe that mentorship is about walking with someone, helping them explore their potential, and helping them with their thing, even no one is watching. At this moment, I'm being reminded of a phrase that says, mentorship is like a breeze that connects wisdom with knowledge. Likewise, Toastmaster Veem Bhattarai helped me get connected with Toastmasters, where I learned to fly with my voice. Today, I am an educator myself, and I aspire to pass the torch like someone my educator turned mentor did in me. You know what I would like to do? I see my class full of students who are shy but are smart. I teach them the things to explore themselves. I teach them the idea of basic public speaking. I see some students who are talkative but just need some guidance on their way. I look after them. I look after everyone in my classroom so that no one is left behind. And let me share you, only last week, one of my students, Arab, participated and did his first ever debate competition and won for himself. You could have seen the pride on my face when he walked on that stage and rocked it, and even more so when he took my name as an inspiration. In that moment, moments like this remind me that as an educator, I can turn into a mentor like my teacher did and teach them knowledge, wisdom, and ideas so that we save the future generations and help them find their voice as well. Fellow Toastmasters, I would like to remind you that we believe as Toastmasters, we not only explore our potential, but at the same time, there's someone like me with self-doubt, someone silent sitting in the corner who can stand on the stage and speak like me. Because mentorship is not just about teaching someone what to do, but how to do it. And as Toastmasters in this virtual platform, I see the potential to exactly do that. When I look myself now, I only think that kid who doubted himself, that kid who could not speak of that very incident, but someone brought the spark in me and helped me find my voice. And that's exactly what you see on this screen tonight. So I encourage you to find children, find someone who needs that guidance, find someone who needs that path, or someone who wants their voice to be heard. I want to tell that kid, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not have the voice. But if you get someone, that one person, then you too can do it. Fellow Toastmasters, someone changed my life. On 2010, I froze. But today, I rise and aspire to do the same for others as well. I hope that we continue to build that future for our children, build the future for someone like me. Let's not just take mentoring as a task, but it's a promise that can shape somebody else's future. I am in this journey, and I hope you are too. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishav, for that wonderful and inspiring speech. Now, can anyone tell me, what do you understand when you hear the word feedback? Anyone? What does feedback mean to you?
Opportunity for growth.
Yes.
Feedback actually feeds you, like for the next speech.
Okay. Acceptable.
Sometimes like a validation, or not just a validation, maybe like, something to tell you that whether you did something right or wrong. I don't know, like a mirror, you might say, yeah.
Okay. Yes. And what is one thing that scares about feedback to you? Feedbacks can be scary. Sometimes we may not be very accepting of feedbacks. So, what is one thing that can be scary for you when you think about somebody giving you a feedback?
That they are maybe making a kind of judgment.
Okay. Yes, feedback can be related to judgment. Anyone?
Long list of improvable things.
Okay. Somebody pointing out our flaws and asking for improvement. Anyone else? Okay.
Criticism, but
Criticism, yes, acceptable.
although it might be constructive,
Okay. Now, these are the things we
it can be
discussed.
quite embarrassing at times.
I'm
Difficult to
sorry, Toastmaster Ruku. I think you're speaking and you have, I think, unstable network. Maybe you can go again. Hello. Toastmaster Ruku, are you there? I think she's been cut off. Okay.
I mean,
Maybe you can type it in the chat box.
now,
Is it my network or is it hers? I am unaware.
It is hers, maybe. You're clear.
Okay. Maybe Toastmaster Ruku, you may just type it in the chat box. Now, these are the things we discussed about receiving feedback. How scary can it be to provide feedback to someone? What do you understand and what do you feel while providing feedback to someone?
So maybe that person may not take it positively, may take it as a criticism.
It can be one.
Maybe it can be taken personally also sometimes.
Yes. Anyone? Why is giving feedback scary for you? Or why is it exciting for you? Maybe it is not scary for everyone. People may enjoy providing feedback. Now, the reason I have asked these questions to you is for you to ponder upon feedback and evaluation, and just to make you think something that you may not have thought about evaluations and feedback. This will help you create or maybe develop questions around feedback that you may want our trainer to address today. If there is a question that has conceived in your mind through these topics right now, please reach out to us, or maybe just post it on the chat of Zoom chat here, so that during the question and answer session, our trainer can address those questions. With that, now I would like to call upon our trainer for today, TTM Priyang. Distinguished Toastmaster Priyang is a nature lover, former software engineer, and a project manager, and now a successful finance entrepreneur. She is also a past marathoner and the producer of multi-award winning short film Annie. She holds a dual BTech in Textile and Information Technology, along with an MBA in Financial Service Management, all from the prestigious Anna University, Chennai, CEG, and AC Tech campuses. Her career has taken her across the globe. She lived and worked in the United States for 6 years, leading international teams and managing global projects with TCS and Virtusa. She has traveled to US, UK, UAE, and Europe. She is a passionate Toastmaster since 2012. She has achieved remarkable milestones. She is an 8-time star member within just 2 years in District 82. As VP membership, she led her club from 33 members to 63 members in just 6 months. That too, it was a charter club. She is an outstanding Toastmaster for the quarter for Q1 23-24 Division B District 120. She has served in every club leadership except for Sergeant at Arms and has excelled beyond the club as well. She is a distinguished area director, a president's distinguished division director, and the only division director who brought an international keynote speaker for the division conference in Centennial year 24-25. She is the first and immediate past Division I Director of District 120. She has earned the coveted Distinguished Toastmaster title twice, with experiences in both corporate and community club across the US and India. Her leadership is marked by excellence. She successfully organized 2 grand conferences in Centennial year, one in Chennai and one in Virudhunagar. She is also the founder of 10x Mastermind Impromptu Speaking Initiative and the author of Pocket Booklet 100 Days, 100 Tips for Impromptu Speaking. That was a lot of feathers in ma'am's hat, and I have to say, this is a huge opportunity for us to be attending this session by Distinguished Toastmaster Priyang. Let's welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Priyang with a huge round of applause. Ma'am, would you like to go ahead with the evaluation first or the evaluation first? So, a huge round of applause for distinguished Toastmaster Priyang. Let's welcome her as the evaluator for Toastmaster Rishav.
Toastmaster Rishav. The word Rishav means best, excellent, strong leader. So today, my evaluation speech is going to be based on these words. First, best. So many things I noticed about your speech, which was the best. There was a show of palms. Whenever we show our palms to the audience, we are being so authentic and they will trust you and connect with you. The next beautiful thing in your speech was your hand gestures. They went along with your speech. The next best thing was you were standing and delivering the speech. Though this was an online speech, you gave that importance. A speech is supposed to be stand and delivered. The next thing was you had clear spelling out of the words from your mouth. Each and every word came out very clearly. The next best thing I noticed was the usage of words. I'm sure the grammarian had a hard time making note of all those things. Whisper, charming, wisdom, knowledge, fly with my voice, passing the torch, etc. And you also had a pinch of humor usage, which was very well done. The next thing was in the first 1 minute, you were able to connect the audience along with you, hook them, and take you along for the 7 minute ride. The other best thing about your speech was the pauses. You were not in a hurry, you were not in a rush. You had the right pauses and you had the right pacing. You were not in a rush, you were not too slow. You made sure we are with you. The next best thing about your speech was the facial expressions. When you were scared, when you were bold, when somebody saw you as an inspiration, when somebody handholded you, I could see that in your eyes and in your face. The next best thing about the speech was when there was a dialogue, you took that 45-degree angle to make it lively that you're talking to another person in the room. That was very well done. And stage usage. There was not much room because this is an online meeting, but still you made effective utilization of whatever space was available. And you tied everything back to the topic. That was absolutely amazingly done. These were the best and excellent thing about your speech. Now I'm going to move to the places where you can make it even more stronger. The first thing was because you had hand gestures and you were standing, your left hand gestures were getting cut off at couple of times. So make sure you're framing your camera in a way so that your eye level, your hands are all within the frame. The second thing was though you had very clear pronunciations, there are a couple of places where there is some mother tongue influence on certain words like passionate, shape, mentorship. Those might be some words which you will need to practice couple of times to get rid of that mother tongue influence. And then the listing gestures, you had counting on your left fingers. It's better to do 1, 2, 3 to give that power impact. With that, we will now summarize everything together, and I'm also in the red card. So it was a best and excellent speech. If you can focus on strengthening certain areas, you you are already an amazing leader. You will become the best and excellent leader. Thank you, and back to you, madam.
Thank you, DTM Priyank, for that wonderful evaluation. I am sure Toastmaster Rishav, like always, is going to pay heed to these advices. And the next time he delivers his speech, we will see him inculcating these advices. Now, it is once again time to welcome DTM Priyank for her educational session. Evaluate to encourage. A huge round of applause for DTM Priyank.
Thank you. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Okay, so some of the questions I had are already asked by our presiding officer. So she has saved me some time and energy. Before I get started, this is my usual ritual. I take a moment of gratitude to all the Toastmasters who are here. I saw about 23 of us are here. We are going to be here for like an hour. It's 23 hours. You are pinning your ears, coming and giving that respect. I'm so grateful to the entire District 41 and the Jhapa Toastmasters Club for having me here. So that will get started. Couple of questions which our presiding officer also shared. Does the word feedback scare you? You can put yes, no in the chat. I'm not going to judge you or anything, so you can feel free. It does, no, okay, sometimes, okay. The next question is why is it so hard to hear feedback? Come on, let's keep it interactive. I am not going to do any broadcast today. We'll keep it interacting. Let's keep the chat on. Fear of getting judged, okay. Acceptance, because we already think we are full. Yeah, we already think we are great speakers, we are amazing leaders, we are perfect, okay. Failure, feedback feels like failure, okay. Anything else? Okay, we'll go to the next question. Why is it so hard to give feedback? Is it so hard to give feedback? Pointing out our flaws, yes. It's not hard to give feedback, okay. Okay, with that, let's get started. So there are different types of prepared speeches: informational, entertaining, persuasive, inspirational, and demonstrative. So today we had a speech from Toastmaster Rishabh. What speech was it? Was it an informational speech? Choice of words. We have to be wary of our words. No, it's good. Inspirational, inspirational. Okay. Okay. So today we are going to see how we are going to evaluate the prepared speeches. The first and foremost thing, like we said, the choice of words. We have to be wary of our words. We are pointing out the flaws. So we have to take caution to keep our words positive, encouraging, and supportive tone, which means we need to be constructive and we need to be solution oriented whenever we are giving feedback. And if we are getting feedback that way, then we are very so blessed. Not always we will get feedback that way, even from our mom or mother-in-laws. The feedback will not be always juicy and tasty. So we will also see today how we can handle difficult feedback. So some of the words that can help you to keep your feedback words positive, you can always use my reaction was, it appeared to me, I felt that, I suggest, because feedback is always very subjective, evaluations are subjective, and it's just one opinion. And we can avoid words like you should have, you failed to, your opening was try to, good speakers do it this way, I won't do it like this, something like that. We can avoid these words. And also avoiding the finger pointing. We can use words like a technique I found useful. Something that helped me was always try to be friendly and tell it in a helpful manner. Whenever we are pointing out some weakness of anyone's speech or script or delivery, try to give the suggestion and solution along with it. I will stop here, and if there is anything that we have to discuss not clear till now, okay, we'll move forward. So I have three templates for you. Before that, I will ask a question. How many of us here have never evaluated any speeches? We have not delivered any evaluation speeches so far.
I haven't.
Okay. So all of others We have evaluated at least one speech. One more, Pranay. Okay. 2, 3 people. Okay. So we will discuss all the three templates, which will help even those who joined in Toastmasters yesterday, or even who are not even in Toastmasters. We'll start with the baby steps. I have 3 templates: simple, medium, and advanced, which you can use for any projects, any contest speech, or any speech as such. So the first template which can help you get started as the prepared speech evaluator is the simple template. It needs to have an opening. Every speech needs to have an opening, body, and conclusion, right? Do you all agree with me? Okay. So this evaluation speech will have an opening like, we want to sound positive, look positive, and smile. We can start with, what an awesome speech it was. What an amazing speech it was. Can we give a round of applause for the prepared speaker? Something like that. We can start with a positive, and you can use how many of whatever adjectives you like to put here. You can put awesome, amazing, brilliant, excellent, fantastic, spectacular, phenomenal, interesting. Or you can also put whatever we saw here, right? What an informative speech it was. What an entertaining speech it was. What an inspirational speech it was. You can use that also. And then you are going to list down 5 things about the speech and 5 things about the speaker. In that, the third thing is going to be a suggestion or a recommendation or an area of improvement. 1, 2, 4, and 5 are going to be the positives, good things. So about the speaker, it can be the pace, the pause, it could be eye contact, it could be stage usage, it could be dressed appropriately for the speech. About the speech, it could be the opening, body, conclusion, or the overall speech impact. You can uh, tell about the speaker and the speech, and then you will slowly move to the conclusion once you start seeing the yellow card. Again, you want to sound positive, look positive, and smile. And you say, I thoroughly enjoyed your speech today. I can't wait to hear your next speech. If it is a leadership project, you can always say, I can't wait to see you stepping up into the next leadership position, president or area director or whatever. The objective of our speech evaluation is, we want the speaker to come deliver the next speech, come take up the next role. So we want to keep our evaluation speeches encouraging. With this, you can always go ahead and get started with your evaluations. The next template is, it builds a little bit on top of the simple template. Again, it has a positive introduction and a positive conclusion. In the body, you're going to talk about whether the speech objectives were met or it could be improved. If there could be 2, 3 project objectives for the speech, you can mark whether it was met or it could be improved. If it could be improved, how? The how part is important. And these are some notes where you can talk about the things that you liked about the speech, and if there are any areas of improvement with a specific recommendation. See, you want to balance it out like 3:1. And in the general speech evaluation, you can talk about the introduction, body, conclusion, transitions from the body, introduction to body to conclusion, vocal variety, were there any dialogues, were there ups and downs, or was the speech monotonous? How was the eye contact? What about the gestures, stage usage, hand gestures, facial expressions? Were any visual aids used, props? And again, in these areas, what you liked, and if there are any specific area of improvement. So maximum, you can try to keep 2 areas of improvement or recommendation, or max you can go for 3, and you want to wrap it up with a positive conclusion. Next, we'll go to the advanced template. Almost similar, you open with the positive and you close with the positive. A little bit, it goes a little deeper. So you will say, what was the impact of the speech? So here we are using the content, organization, and delivery method, COD, whether it was an educational speech, informational, motivational, inspirational speech, or an entertaining, humorous speech, or any other. Or sometimes it could be a combination. It could be an entertaining and inspirational speech. So you can say how was the impact, whether it met the project objectives, Did the speaker have knowledge of the topic? Were they authentic? Did they keep the speech interesting? How did they organize the speech? How was the opening body? Were the transitions smooth? Was the opening catchy? Was there a question? Did they use any quotes? How was the conclusion? Did they involve the audience in the conclusion? Was there a call to action at the end? And then delivery. Vocal variety. How was the volume, pace? Were they slow, fast? How was the pitch? Were the pauses? Wherever they are giving the powerful message, did they pause for impact? For humor, did they pause for the humor? What about the physical delivery, the body language, eye contact, posture? Did they stand straight? Did they sit straight? Were they slouching? How was their posture and manner? Were they happy about their speech? Or if they are delivering a eulogy or something, were they sad about their speech? Did that show in their face? Were they confident? How was the conviction? Were they convinced with their own speech? And the sincerity, language, words usage, grammar, pronunciation. Did they use notes sparingly, fully, not at all? And use of visual aids. If yes, how many? They want to keep it less than three. And were they distracting, not distracting? Were the props related to the speech? Did the prop enhance the effect of the speech, the impact of the speech? And if it is a club meeting speech, you can say whether the word of the day was used. And you can also list down anything else that you liked about the speech and what you suggest could be done differently. See, the space for what you liked is bigger than what you suggest. That is how we develop confidence in our speakers. That is how we evaluate to encourage. These are the three templates that you can always use for any projects. Then we will move on to the three different methods. CRC method you would have often heard, right? Sandwich technique. There's a layer of positives on the top, put the recommendation in the middle, and then close it with the positive. More than what we say, how we say it matters a lot in evaluation and feedback. The tone, the facial expression, we want to keep it positive, smiling, and friendly. CRC is one technique, and then we have the glow technique. Especially, it helps for body language related speeches. How were the gestures? How was the language? How was the organization of the speech? How was the voice and the eye contact of the speaker? And we also have a technique called flaps. This will mostly suit for the vocal variety type of speeches. How was the language? How was the articulation? How were the passes and the vocal stress? And evaluations are the backbone of any Toastmasters meeting, as we know. It can make or break a person. It can build a person up and take them high, or it can also make the person not come back to the fraternity back. So let's be very cautious when we use our words and how we give the feedback. Let's always make sure our feedbacks and evaluations are always energizing, empowering, and encouraging people. So to energize the people, we want to appreciate the good, give at least three positive things, and be genuine, no flattering. And to empower them, at least maximum, you can give at least maximum two recommendations along with the solution in a friendly, positive, supportive way. Yeah, with how and why. Be specific and give it with logical examples. If you can take a sentence from their speech and do the vocal variety or do the passes, you can do and show, you can demonstrate and encourage. We want to encourage them in our conclusion, encourage them to give them the next speech, or it could be we want to encourage them to participate in a speech contest or to take up club leadership or district leadership role, etc. Coming to the hardest part, receiving feedback. Okay. Was there a time when you had a hard time receiving feedback? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, now we'll see some tips how we can take feedback. Keep a mindset that feedback is a gift. Any feedback is a gift, whatever way it is wrapped and comes to us. Not all feedback are treated equal. You might be sometimes getting harsh criticisms also as a feedback. Some feedback might come blunt. They come in different sizes and colors. We must take it as a gift. And whenever somebody is giving feedback, try to listen without interrupting. No need to get defensive, no need to justify or give answers. Try to focus even if it is hard to hear, or try to take notes and mentally repeat the points to stay engaged. And then try to ask them some specific questions. If it is just a judgment or it is a real feedback, try asking questions, asking for more information. Try to summarize it back and confirm that you're getting the right feedback. So, are you suggesting me I could improve my time management during speeches? Or are you suggesting me that I pause? Something like that. And then act upon it. You can also say thank you for the feedback, regardless of whatever tone it comes, right? Sometimes feedback comes harsh tones, blunt tones, neutral tones, friendly tones, whatever, regardless, you can say thank you for the feedback and then take care of what, why, and how, and then decide how to grow. Maybe if you don't know which feedbacks you need to work upon, which you don't need to work upon, you can take it to your mentor. And if some feedback is repetitively coming back to you, then probably those are the points which you will have to definitely work on it. Do we have to talk about the contest? Would you all like to know about the evaluation speech contest? Do we have time, Madam Toastmaster, Madam Presiding Officer?
I think the timer can brief us on that. I think we can go ahead because
Yes, we are just 15 minutes into the session, so we have all the time.
have time.
Okay. So we'll talk a little bit about the evaluation speech contest. So evaluation speech contest is there in Toastmasters, where this is exactly the ballot that is used. The analytical quality, recommendations, technique, and summation. If you noticed my today's evaluation speech, I was running short of time and I couldn't summarize because I had a lot of positive things about the speaker. Usually in a contest speech, we don't want to skip summarizing because summarizing has almost 15 points. Yeah, summarizing has almost 15 points. If you do everything right and skip summation, you can get placed second because 15 points can go away. You might get placed third also, or you might not even be on the top three. So summarizing is important. You have to summarize your own evaluation speech, which will include the positives, the recommendations, and then the uh, whatever takeaway message. If there is a takeaway message in the speech, you can always tell that in the summary and close it. Analytical quality carries 40 points and recommendations carry 30 points. So you can go for 4 good things. You can go for 3 recommendations. And technique, there are so many techniques to use like CRC, flap, globe. These are so many techniques, right? And you can also look for different techniques on my Insta page and LinkedIn page for prepared speeches grooming. Or you can use your own techniques. You can have acronyms. You can take today I took the name of our speaker, right? And our speaker's name was Risha. Then his name meant best, excellent, and strong leader. So you can take somebody's name, or you can take name as an acronym. You can take their meaning of their name and you can use it for your evaluation. Those are all techniques. And you will be judged on being sympathetic, sensitive, and motivational. And summation, you need to keep it like 1, 2, 3, good, and 1, 2 recommendations. You want to give at least 2 recommendations because the ballot says recommendations. It doesn't say one recommendation. So at least 2, you will have to give 2 recommendations. So with this, we will move from the ballot to exactly how the contest actually happens. So there will be a test speaker who is presented. You will not know the test speaker's name and project. They will be presented on the spot. You have to be keen to observe their name and the speech title. They will present a 5 to 7 minute speech. Yeah, there will be a surprise speaker. Project details or objectives will not be given. And once that speech is over, you will have 5 minutes preparation time. And then you will have to hand over the notes. You will be given a white sheet, 1 or 2 sheets, and a pen uh, to take notes. And then all the contestants will be put in the breakout room except the first contestants. Only when you're back to the stage, you will have access to your notes. Evaluation speeches are for 2 to 3 minutes. You want to speak at least for 1 minute 30 seconds to qualify, and you want to keep it less than 3 minutes 31 seconds so that you don't get time disqualified. These are some of the evaluation speech contest rules. If you would like to go ahead and contest, and to contest, you don't have to have finished any levels for evaluation speech contest. You just need to be a paid member in good standing. You can take some of these techniques and then go contest. We have had very good success rate with these methods. So this is something which summarizes upon all the things that we discussed now. Champions are not born, they are made. You can always become a champion by working towards it. There are 5 different types of speeches: are informative, persuasive, inspirational, entertaining, and demonstrative. There could also be combinations. There are 3 different templates we discussed: simple, medium, and advanced, and 3 methods: CRC, commend, recommend, and glow and flaps technique. Feedback is the breakfast for champions. Always be open to feedback. No need to be crushed by it. And give feedback in a way people are open to hear feedback and they come to you to listen to your feedback. Best wishes for contest if you're if you're planning to contest. If you're not planning or you had no idea, take that leap and go contest. When you contest, you will learn a lot about yourself, your strengths, and you will also learn a lot about evaluation itself. So with that, I'll stop here and we can open the question Q&A session.
Wow, what a wonderful session, DTM Priyang. I think we already have a question by Toastmaster Pushpanjali. Please go ahead, Toastmaster Pushpanjali.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Ekta. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session, DTM Priyang. Just one question is that, like, whatever evaluation we've been doing, we've been actually watching people and doing, like, senior or seasoned Toastmasters. So once when I actually was evaluating, I mentioned the use of certain similes and, beautiful words and phrases. But I was told that that is not required that is the job of the grammarian. So I just want to be clear because today I saw that you did mention the use of different words and phrases by Toastmaster Rishav. So could you please shed more light on this? Like what actually an evaluator, as evaluator, do we do that or not? So I would love to hear that from you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. That is a very insightful question, I would say. Some people like to get very professional feedback. Probably they like to keep it very professional. Some people expect they are evaluated only based on the project objectives. And to me, evaluation is an art, and even speeches are art. So when people use similes and metaphors, uh, if we are appreciating, I think they shouldn't have a problem. But probably if we are telling them, we are encouraging them to use metaphors and similes, I don't know, he got offended. Yes, grammarian, in the club meeting, in the club meetings, definitely it's grammarian's job to make a note of all the good words. But if something is exceptionally good, we can't stop ourselves from commending the usages. And TI doesn't prevent anyone from commenting on the similes and metaphors. We can always do it, but make sure it's not going like a grammarian's report, right? Maybe 1 or 2 words which were really impressing you, you can tell, and then you can move to the next commendation. And sometimes it's also like if there are other good things about the speeches, you can always prioritize, and then you can just say they were commendable. The usage of language was commendable. I admire the usage of similes and metaphors. And then you can move on without giving the examples. But when we give examples, it also shows in the contest that we really paid attention and we listened and we made note of those little things. So you can balance it out. Again, it depends on the person and no need to take it personally because this is all very subjective, right? It's very subjective. Evaluations are very subjective. and hope it give you some context on how you can use it, right? Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Just one more question. I really have a lot of questions because I really love this role of an evaluator. Another thing is that I've noticed, like when we are evaluating as evaluators, so how much is it good to evaluate the content? Because normally we just have 3 minutes evaluations for evaluation speech, and we need to actually evaluate on the project purpose as well, right? So there is, I mean, I have like seen that a lot of evaluation is done on the content. So how do we actually balance out the content and everything, the purpose of the project, you know? So these things, how do we balance it out? I just wanted to know more on that.
Sure, sure. So if we have the privilege to talk on any topic except sex, religion, and politics. So anything other than that, we can't restrict or comment about the speaker that you shouldn't be using this content or that content, or your content should have been something different. That is something which is a very baseline. And how much time we want to spend on the content, like you saw in the templates that I shared, right? uh, the content is like very minimal, right? Out of 10, 15 things, it takes only just a small space. We don't want to dwell too much about the content because the speaker has the freedom to talk about any content. If it doesn't fall into sex, religion, politics, it is not objectionable. It is not offending any group of people. And especially in Southeast Asian countries, I would say we have to also avoid talking on community, caste, religion, probably in addition to sex, religion, and politics, and make sure we are not, if they're not using any offending words that could harm a group of people, they are good to go. We don't have to comment so much on the content. I personally have had some people evaluating too much on my content and getting time disqualified because we will not have time to evaluate the entire content because it will be a 7 minute speech and you're allowed to evaluate only for 3.5 minutes. So try to strike that balance, right? Whenever you go with that, before green card, you want to finish up all your commendations, and before yellow as much possible the recommendations, and when the yellow card approaches itself you need to be ready to conclude so that when the red card is there you know that you're safely wrapping it up before getting time disqualified. So that way also it will help you to keep it short, cut it short, by not going too much into any one area, right? Because now you have that pressure. Before green card comes, you have to tell all your commendations. Say, for example, you have 4 commendations, and the green card is up, and you are talking only on one point. Then that's the self check for you. You have to quickly move on the next three commendations and then get started with your recommendations.
Okay, thank you so much. It was really, really very, very enlightening. Thank you.
Hi, Priyank. I have a query.
Hi, hi.
Hi. Priyank, when I'm participating in the contest, what is the few couple of areas where I can touch upon where other contestant will not be probably speaking often so that like I'll look out unique.
So for your club contest, definitely you need to know about your fellow contestants. You need to regularly go to your club meetings and listen to their evaluations to see what they use often and try to keep that minimal. That can help you in the club contest. And do you watch movie critics online, YouTube?
Yes, I do.
They will give you very different perspectives, right? They will just what to say, they will scramble things, they will break it down, and they will do the mockery and everything, right? So you can listen to it, but you can't bring the same thing here, but you can get some different points from that as well. Movie reviews.
Okay.
And when you move to the next level, like area division, again you need to start studying about different contestants in your area. What do they usually touch upon? And you have to also start watching and observing a lot of speakers.
Okay.
and write down whatever comes to your mind, the commendations and recommendations. And you can do exercises like, what are the points everybody will comment upon? What are the points everybody will recommend upon?
Okay.
So that will also give you what you can park to the last when you go as a contestant, right? Or you can remove from your list, or something that you can tell differently. So let me tell you, for example, right, in District 120, the current year District 120 evaluation champion, when during the area contest, I was a test speaker and he evaluated my speech. I was not using the entire stage. I was rooted in one place. And every evaluation contestant who came, they made a recommendation about this point. You were rooted in the same place. You could have used the entire stage. The opening could have been here, that could have been here, this could have been here, and then you could have come forward. This thing. Everybody told that. And the speech also had 3 points. 3C or 3S it had. S, yes, yes. So somebody said, for the first years you have been on the left of the stage. For the second years you could have been in the middle of the stage. The third years you'd have been on the right side of the stage. This guy, when he came and evaluated, he said, your speech showed that you are an introvert. You're so shy to go and talk to people. And that was also evident when you were standing only in that one position and you didn't walk all over the stage. I am sure all my fellow contestants are going to give you this recommendation of utilizing the stage. But I will not tell you that, because as an introvert, that is your strength. That's what he said. He did something differently. He noticed the same thing everybody noticed, but he told it that that is the strength of the introvert. They are reserved. They stay in their one place. They don't move around and make a lot of noise. And when he said that, my face glowed up. And the audience were also like, this guy is like really accepting the person for who they are. He is not asking somebody to change themselves as a whole and building on their strength. Make
Okay.
sense? Make sense?
Yes.
You don't have to do something out of the earth, bring something from the space to do things differently. Little minor tweaks, but it takes time and practice.
Okay.
There is some question in the chat, I think. Projects with 15 minutes or more speech. We have only 3 minutes. Do you have any technique to evaluate these projects and talk about the entirety of the 15 to 20 minutes? So this is the beauty of Toastmasters, right? 3 to 4 minutes eulogy speech. You need to give 2 to 3 minutes evaluation speech. 18 to 22 minutes professionally speaking speech, 2 to 3 minutes evaluation speech, 5 to 7.5 minutes prepared speeches or humorous speeches or test speech, 2 to 3 minutes evaluation speeches. I understand how difficult this is. I have been there. We have talked so much. We have debated a lot on this. But still, evaluation speeches are standard. They are kept 2 to 3 minutes in Toastmasters. And sometimes people do a table topics for 30 seconds or 1 minute, and then they expect you to give 2 to 3 minutes speech, which is really impossible. So, projects with 15 minutes or more, we have only 3 minutes. And how to evaluate the entire thing. I know there is a lot of points. I also had a lot of points today, and I'm sure definitely I went over the red card. It always happens. Less is more. You might have heard of less is more, right? How much is too much? These kind of quotes you might have heard. Less is more. How much is too much? Well, taking notes, you take notes as much as you want, a lot. But then before you go to that evaluation speech stage, cut down all the mediocre stuff, I would say. Keep only those top five or the top three. You prioritize the top three. Hope it helps, right? So that you can stay within time. You will be able to stay within time if you're picking only 3, 4 positives and not two to three recommendations. Definitely, you will be able to stay within the time. Hope that helps. John B. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. Um recently I had attended a district conference where there was a speech there were speech evaluations for one particular speech, and all the speakers had evaluated in third person and not in second person. So this was something I had seen for the first time, and I went ahead and asked them, and I was told that it is a good idea to address speakers in third person, like address the crowd and not just the speaker. And today, I saw you also evaluating in second person. So I am really confused about this aspect of evaluation. When do we evaluate in second person and when do we evaluate in third person?
Okay, okay, fantastic. Very keen observation, I would say. I would like to commend you on that. Definitely, we all have this doubt, right? The evaluation speech, is it for the speaker or is it for the audience? That doubt we all get, right? I would say definitely in a contest, it is for both. In a contest, definitely it is for both the audience and the test speaker. So sometimes we want to tell the test speaker's name, and sometimes we also want to keep it generic and open it up to the entire audience. But in club level speeches, it is always like a one-on-one we are delivering in front of everyone. But there is a small trick there. We shouldn't be trying to take the opinion of the audience. Say, for example, I think this was an entertaining speech. Raise your hands if you all agree. Something like that, right? We don't want to ask the audience opinion on our evaluation or on the speech. We want to give our evaluation, and our evaluation will be like a learning for the audience. The audience is taking some points from our evaluation, mainly to incorporate in their speeches and in their evaluation. So I would say it is a mix, but do it very carefully when you're trying to involve the audience. It's better to use the test speaker's name and keep it personalized so that they feel included. But we have to also ensure that the audience don't feel excluded.
Thank you. I had one more question if there is no one going ahead. Um, in one of your slides, there was mentioned to avoid using your opening was.
Mm,
That is how
yeah.
we have been, at least I have been doing in most of my evaluations. I fail to understand how is that something wrong and why do we avoid it? And if we avoid, in what situation do we avoid it?
Because it comes off like an accusation. That is why your opening was. So it comes off like an accusation. Uh, but I think it can also depend on the word that we use after it. We can say your opening was commendable. Your opening was uh, captivating. In that case, it doesn't land like an accusation, but instead you can say the opening was captivating instead of your opening was, because your opening uh, it's about the tone also sometimes, right? We might not intend to say it as a criticism, but when we say your, it can give that different impact. So that is why your opening, you can always use it as the opening was brilliant.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
What got my attention was your opening. Yeah. What got my attention was the speech's opening. Or you can say it was brilliant to open the speech with an engaging question. I was I was hooked the moment you opened the speech with a powerful quote from Mark Twain. See, I'm saying I was hooked. It is not coming off as your opening, your speech, right? I was hooked. So it makes it also personal, right? I was hooked the moment. Okay. Any more questions?
So just one more. I just wanted to back up that. I just wanted to be clear on that. That means like when we are evaluating, so it should be your expression, how you are feeling about the speech. All right.
Correct.
So like,
Evaluation is subjective. It is your opinion about that particular speech, that performance. It's not even about that speaker or any past history you have with that speaker or that speaker's past speech. It's all about that 5 to 7 minutes. And it's very subjective. It's our personal opinion. Today I felt this about your speech. That is how it has to be. And after the evaluation, you shouldn't be remembering or taking it to the heart. The next speech must be evaluated again in a very fresh mind and perspective. And when we also want to give out that vibe. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I
I see a
have
lot of guests.
another
Sure.
question. If sometime it happens that we have been evaluating the same speaker for a couple of meetings, like back to back, maybe not back to back, but we have evaluated the same person, maybe thrice, and we have somehow the same recommendation for them. How do we not sound too pushy or just pinpointing one recommendation and not make it, I don't know how to put it, maybe not offensive for them by just pointing out same thing again and again.
Say, for example, somebody has an area of improvement of time management. In every speech, they go overtime. So in every meeting, you might be calling it out, like you would want to manage your time better. But you can also say it solution-oriented way to cut down the content, to practice the speech before coming and delivering in the club, to use a timing device when they practice the speech. All these solutions you are also giving. You're giving it in a solution-oriented way. But it keeps repeating for say 2, 3 months. This has not been changing. Take the focus of that particular recommendation. I would say this is something has that happened in our club also. uh, don't go to the extent of making it very personalized to that person, right? This person is like always they can't manage time, always late, always beyond red card, right? That is the scenario we're trying to avoid. So what we did in our club was we didn't make it about the person, though it was made about the person in one of the meetings. We had to handle it separately. The next best solution, what we can do as a club to get the person out of this. That is what we tried. What we did was probably the timer card was not visible. The timer was not pinned. If we start pinning the timer, they will be able to better manage the time. And in one of the clubs in District 13, what we do is we know we are over time when we come to the red card, but we don't know that we are going beyond the 30 seconds grace time. So what they do is they put a blue color card the moment you cross that 30 seconds. So now for sure, you know if the blue card is up, you are overtime. So that was a example I was able to give for the situation that you said, but I'm sure it was not the same situation. If you want it not to be recorded here, we can take it offline and find ways how we can sort it out. But I would say go easy. This is what I say on all the evaluators. Don't choke feedback on people. Let them take the time. And there is also 3 stages on accepting feedback. Not everybody can take feedback. Not everybody can accept feedback and start working on it immediately. Say, for example, today I get some feedback on this session, right? Maybe I'm slouching. Sometimes I am my voice is very feeble. I don't talk loudly. I don't open my mouth and throw my voice. This feedback has been existing for 4 or 5 years now, and from different people, I keep getting this comment. And some people might be like, "She never changes. She's like that." They go to that extent. So sometimes we have to leave the person to go realize and work upon it and come back. Uh, Say for example, to say, um, yeah, I was talking about the three stages of accepting the feedback. So the first stage is when the feedback comes, we will not take the feedback. We will not be open to the feedback. We will be defensive. We don't want to listen to feedback. We don't want to accept that this feedback is for me. We'll be like, no, no, I'm loud. I'm not, my voice is not feeble. That is the first stage. The second stage is I start getting that feedback from multiple people, from multiple direction. Then my brain will think, okay, this sounds like something I have to work upon. I have to really take. Or to some extent, it will also come after a disaster. I go to some place and I deliver a speech. Half of the audience is not able to listen to my speech. They come and tell, no, we didn't even know, we were not able to listen what you delivered. So after a disaster, then I will decide I have to make my voice louder if I have to get my message across. Then on the third stage, I will take action. Many people will drop out here. They will not take action because you might know that the resistance phase, all that, right? So we have to put the work to work upon it, be consistent, and then that change will happen. After that change happens, people will notice, and whatever was there in this recommendation will go to the commendation part. So we have to give time for people. Sometimes people take 3 months, sometimes they take 6 months, sometimes forever you will not see the change. So you need to also have multiple other points to give feedback than having that repetitive same set of feedback to give. Or you can bring some evaluator from a nearby club, evaluator from a different division or from other district or division, so that they will also get a variety. So now the person changes, right? It could be the same feedback from different person. Probably they'll not get offended. That can also happen. And in sales also, if you see, people say when you sell something, it actually reaches people after it is told in 8 different ways. 8 different ways before it actually reaches their brain. So probably they need 8 different people to tell it in 8 different ways to actually reach them. And there is nothing personally to for you to take. I told this person to correct this before 3 months or 6 months, and I am not seeing this change. So you don't need to take it personally. They will grow as it is meant to be. They will take the time and they will grow. Hope that helped answer your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, definitely it did. I think our timer has left from here. So I'll just see the time. Oh, we are already short on time. If there is any other question, maybe we can take one more. Otherwise, we can close the Q&A session. I think we are done with the questions. We had some wonderful questions today from the audience. And thank you so much, DTM Priyang, for the lovely session. It was insightful, it was informative, it was entertaining. We had some laughs here and there. And it was eye-opening in all, if I have to sum it up. Here is, before I close the meeting, I would like to share this acknowledgement to DTM Priyang. Let's acknowledge DTM Priyang with a huge round of applause. Let's see some applause emojis and emoticons there.
Thank you so much.
I will be forwarding this to you after the meeting. If there is any, oh, I think you have already shared your Instagram handle, right, on the chat. So anybody who would like to reach out to TTM Priyang for their questions, for insights, to see more on evaluation and speech crafting, I believe, on DTM Priyang's page. She has shared her Instagram QR on the Zoom chat. I think, ma'am, you can also share your LinkedIn handle here if anybody would like to connect with you there. With that, before we close and stay for an informal session, I would like to ask, what was the moral of the story today? The food for thought that we had, that was left in the beginning of the session. Nobody remembers. Toastmaster Pushpanjali?
Okay, it's actually I've been speaking too much. That's why I was giving the opportunity to others.
Okay.
Okay.
So the moral was, we grow only when we are flexible. The change is the only constant, and we need to adapt to our changes in order to grow and go ahead in life. No matter what the obstacle is, we need to keep moving. With that, I would like to announce the meeting room 204 close. I would request everyone to please turn on their cameras for a group picture before we just go ahead closing our meeting rooms.
Please, if possible, we would like to see your beautiful faces for a picture. Okay, everyone, before we take a picture.
Let's see some heart emoticons on our cameras. Some flying hearts here and there. Master is probably absent. Thank you all for attending. We have a good number of guests. Maybe this is the time you would like to take the floor and introduce yourselves. Ma'am Jyoti, guest Prachi, guest Isha.
I was hoping you won't call me. Thank you very much. I did come in a tad bit late because I was traveling in another program. And thank you indeed. Need of the hour. The topic was very intriguing, and I thought I should come. And nonetheless, it was very important for me to. I know how DTM Priyang works, and she's from one of the same districts too. And I truly am very, very excited to see her do her job. I'm not surprised she did as well as she did because what else do we expect? And thank you very much. We will connect again, maybe another program. I'll be there. I'm sorry I came in late. Better late than
Definitely,
never.
ma'am.
Congratulations on
Definitely.
organizing a program like this. I think it's very important. And good luck to your club too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You are from which club, ma'am?
I'm a dual member, one in Canada and another one in Chennai.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
it's thank you. I came in because I knew Priyang was there and I was late. I rushed in, but I got to see all you lovely people who invited her. I know her. Thank you. Lovely meeting you all. Good luck.
Lovely meeting you too, ma'am. We have Prema Shankar also. Maybe you would like to take this opportunity to introduce yourself. Thank you so much, DTM Priyam, for accepting the invitation, actually. We invited you, but you are even more lovely for accepting the invitation.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I think I logged in late because I missed that. But I think she is one of the best to listen. Even the little that I listened, I think it was so wonderful, especially about the evaluation. I missed a major part of it, but it's so nice to hear her and a lot of learning. You know, You've got one of the best speakers here, and we need to learn more and more. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Toastmaster Anil, would you like to share your experience?
I was late in the meeting, but it was a wonderful experience learning from Toastmaster Priyag. Uh, we are very thankful that you came to this meeting and share some good thought. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, would you like to give some parting words, DTM Priyang? Before we close the meeting, we'd love to hear a parting word from you.
Thank you so much for patiently listening, and I loved all the questions that you all brought. Definitely, that is where my learning is also there. When new questions come up, I also get challenged. I come with a prepared content, and when the questions pop up, that's when I have to keep my thinking feet on, do the impromptu, give the appropriate examples and answers. Let's keep challenging each other and grow. And if there is any feedback or questions on any of the content in the deck, you can always reach out to me. And nothing like I have all the answers, I have all the keys. I also don't have all the keys. I learned from my mentors and so many senior Toastmasters like Jyoti Thomas ma'am and others, Sarovel Rajan and so many others, from whom all I collated this deck, ETM Shuganti, Toastmaster Asha Verghese, and so many mentors and so many evaluation speakers and contestants whom I observed and also learned from speakers who didn't do so well or so good, which could be improved upon. I have had my own fair lessons of how to give feedback. Not all feedback should be given as you think in your heart, as it comes out of your heart. So, from my lessons also. So, I am sure we are all here in this earth to improve upon. We come here to become a little better than how we were yesterday. So there is, if you messed up yesterday, it's okay. Today you can be better. If you messed up today, tomorrow you can be better. At least you tried. It's a sign. If we are messing up, it's a sign that we are growing. So we don't have to worry about it. Some people take it too much to the heart when they go over time or when they mess up the agenda order. They think like, oh, again, I shouldn't show up on the stage. I am not fit for this role. I have gone blank on a big stage in an auditorium in front of 300, 400 people. I have gone over time beyond the red card. It happens to the best of us, it happens to all of us. So don't give up when such things happen, when you mess up. Accept it and move forward. And don't idealize anybody. Don't think like, okay, Priyang is like the expert. She's like DTM twice. She knows everything in the world. It's not like that. We are all growing. We all have space to grow. I also have space to grow, and I want to keep it very very humble. And it's a good way to learn and grow. So even if you know more, also you can always think of like there is more. There is some definitely some room or space for me to grow. That would be my parting words, and I'm so grateful and thankful. This is the second time I'm coming to District 41. I'm so grateful. You all love the content which I have been doing for about 150 days now, and it is helping people in some ways. Like those little words, like your opening, the opening. That page is full of all those little tiny words where we unconsciously we come off like we can come off harsh or we might mean something which we don't want to mean. And go post your questions or comments, go through those pages. And if there are anything that you would like to see in that page on the content related to evaluations, reach out to me, let me know. This can also help you in your appraisals. It can help you at your home. You can check your words. There is so much power in the words. The way we give feedback, the way we tell things, always it can change, especially the sandwich technique, appreciating first, going with the solution stuff, right? Not just going as a criticism or
something. So don't think like this is only for prepared speech, this is only for Toastmasters. Try taking what you learn here and apply it in your real life, see if it works. So that would be my parting words. Don't want to be like too much gyan or advice, but all advices are what we tell to ourselves. So with that, I would like to pass the control back to the presiding officer.
Thank you so much, DTM Priyang, and it was really lovely. Thank you, everyone. I think now the meeting will be ended by the host.
Yes, I think we have another session in our district also starting in 10 minutes. So I think it would be wise to end the meeting. It was lovely having Toastmaster Priyang, Jyoti, and I think Prema, right? Uh, if you could share your Instagram handles as well, we'd love to connect to you over there, and then maybe schedule another meeting sometime in future on some other topic, maybe in whatever interests you and suits you better. Toastmaster Jyoti, oh, you have responded to me. Okay, I will look for you and connect to you then. Thank you once again, everyone. I shall be ending the meeting now since our tech master has left. Thank you for joining.
Thank
Bye.
you all. Thank you. Have a great